Thank you for joining McCormick Systems in video number 2. Today we're going to be looking at the second button in our screen, which is labels. So what you're going to do is, after you're done starting a job, you can come here to review that your job has been started. It looks like we have started test job number 1. Now you could either close out of the window here, the jobs window, and go to number 2, or you can directly go to number 2. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go directly to number 2, which is labels. So it opens up labels here, and what you do with labels is this is how you break down a job. Now this is an optional part, and depending on the program that you have, you may or may not have as many columns as you see now. What we're going to do is we're going to break down just a simple job today. And what that is going to entail is putting in these labels into each column. So on the labels, we always want to start with column 1. And when we start with column 1, we basically create the biggest label. And in this job, we are going to start with base bid. So I'm going to type in base bid. That is going to be our bid. Now, as we come in later, as we do more work with this job, we're going to come in and we're going to be able to add in our alternates or change orders, and those would all go under the base bid. So that is why we start with the base bid. So for now I will enter in alternate 1. Maybe we have to do some sort of another bid within this job. So I'll put in alternate 1. Again, if I had change orders, if I had anything else that I needed to bid within this job, I could put more line items here. Now as you move to the right to the next column, you're going to break down the job more and more and more. This is purely an optional process. If you don't need to break down the job, then you are done with this screen. You can basically just put the base bid and go on with your step number 3. But for today's training, I am going to break down a small job. Let's pretend we're working on a small commercial job. It's a 2-story building. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to break it down by floors. Let's say it's floor 1 and floor 2. There's my 2 floors. Quite easy. Now, as I go further, we can break these floors down. So think of this as a tree. I've started with the base bid. I've now broke that down by floor 1 and floor 2. And now I'm going to break my floors down by the actual systems. So I'm going to come to column 3 and I'm going to put in the systems. And I'm going to make it simple. I'm just going to do lighting, power, fire alarm. And as I enter in each of these labels, you will notice that it automatically opens a new line under each one. So very, very easy to complete. And quickly, I am going to explain why we do this. Why we do this is because later on down the road, when we're done with takeoff and we get to extend here, we're then going to have the ability to break down the job and view certain parts of the job in a manner that we would like to. So I can come in here and I can say, well, I want to see a report on base bid. I want to see what floor 2 power entails, and when I check off floor 2 power, then I'm going to be able to run that report on floor 2 power, showing me a material list for floor 2 power. It's going to show me how many man hours I bid for floor 2 power. So this is the part in the system where you can break down the job into these sections. Now if this doesn't make sense to you, I will flip to step number 3 quickly and show you how these labels come in. So as you can see, I've got base bid, I've got these floors. How do I do my takeoff for this? So let me show you quickly how that happens. When I come here to number 3 takeoff, you will notice up top my labels. So now you can see what's showing here. Base bid, floor 1, lighting. So whatever I do, whatever takeoff I do is for floor 1 lighting. When I'm done with floor 1 lighting, I can move it to floor 2 lighting. And now I'm working on floor 2 lighting. When I'm done with floor 2 lighting and I want to work on floor 2 power, I just flip it down to floor 2 power. So you can see that it easily translates from your number 2 button into your takeoff. So let's go back to number 2 and finish this up. So again, this is an optional part of the McCormick systems. You do not have to break down the job if you don't want to, but if you would like to break down a job, it is very easy to do. Just remember the tree method. As you move to the right, you break it down more and more and more. So we're only going to break it down by these 3 columns today. Again, depending on your system, you may only have 1 column. You can come in here and you can do your breakdown. So you can do base bid, you can have floor 1, floor 2 in this first column if you only wanted to break it down by the floors. So you have many different options. So that is labels, a very easy and very optional part of McCormick systems. Please proceed to video number 3, which is going to be takeoff, and we will continue from there. Thank you very much.